And hello everybody, welcome to the stream. We've got Josip in the chat seemingly. Hello everybody, welcome. Kind of a late one tonight, but this was indeed the will of the people. I'm just getting sorted here, seeing Josip yelling at us in in chat. Let me just launch my my copy of Warbound, and we'll get started. Hi everyone, it's nice to see you all again. See, Josip, that sounds like a you problem. Also, don't you probably have a phone, right? So like, you can put the phone up. Whoa, that was very laggy. I'm not sure if chat heard that. The stream's sort of stuck for me. Okay, it's updated now. Alright, the Twitch app just sucks because I tend to look at chat on an iPad kind of just below my main monitor. And it was still showing the this scene. No, every time you talk, it's like this. Also, keep in mind, whatever you say there is also live on the stream, so. Could you invade it with a better microphone, please? I swear the first purchase that we need to make as a company, once we get that whole thing sorted, is just buying Josip. You don't hear Josip. Interesting. Let's... Okay, you should hear Josip now if Josip yells. Okay, Josip, say something.
I'll attempt to start my own OnlyFans to get funds for a better microphone.
Jesus Christ. Okay, that's the last we're hearing from you, I think, today. Because that was horrible. Did y'all get that this time round? Yeah.
That was... I'm listening to this on my speaker, so that scared the shit out of me.
I've turned him down now. Yes, yeah, it's quite horrible, I'm not going to lie. Alright, let's welcome to welcome to my IDE. I'm going to open Lyra as well. This is... Well, we've been making good progress today with Josh. I forgot Josh's name there for a second. Strange. Yes, I've turned you down already. The problem is, it's you. You are special, and I cannot make you quieter while keeping Josh the same volume when he gets back. So, anyway.
Do you want me to use my seductive voice instead?
Maybe I'll just mute you. Anyway, welcome everybody. I hope you're having a lovely Sunday night. I'm sure nobody's excited to go back to work tomorrow, but such is life. Let me see if I can... I mean, this is clearly working incredibly well. That should be working and was working earlier, so I'm not sure why it's not working now. But, yeah, I've turned you down, Josip, for a very good reason. But essentially, what we've been working... Oh god, please don't make your volume louder in Discord.
I cannot be silenced.
Well, you're silenced on stream now, at least. That much I can do. But I'm not sure why these are red. They shouldn't be red. I'm hoping that by throwing a cheeky rebuild at it, it will... Do you want me to ban you from chat, Josip? Because seriously... I was gonna, yeah, I think Pax has got the right idea. Where's my moderator controls? Mod actions. If you paid me anything, maybe I'd be scared. Okay, well, we're back to normal with these at least. They're highlighting properly. This is obviously still a problem. I was gonna say, like, so far, the only financial transactions that have gone through has been me giving you money. Admittedly for a subscription service that you paid for me, but still. Okay, why are you... Only cause... I think you'd be great at EA. I really do. Okay. I want to show off what we've been working on, so I'm just gonna... in before all of this breaks, because none of these functions are implemented. But that's okay, we'll sort it out. Essentially... Yep. Oh, what's it not happy about? Well, this is why Josh usually mutes the live stream whenever he's on. But, you know, you don't...
Anyways, I wish you the best of luck, and I'll see you later.
Take care, Josip.
Some food.
Sounds like a plan.
Time for my hamburgers.
God.
They don't know.
The audio is just painful. I don't even know what it is. I don't even know what it is with Josip. It's just... because nobody else sounds like this. Everyone else is fine. Okay, why
No,
are you...
technically you're supposed to hear me like this, and it should be fine.
You sound horrible, and I don't mean that as criticism. That's just how it is. Controller can restart. Okay, once this implemented, but when I implement that... Oh, because... Okay, just...
this might actually be a little bit better.
That needs to return something. But we should get a build now. Hey! Look at that. Yeah, okay. Okay, Josip's gone. I can turn the Discord audio back up again for when Josh gets back. Yes, sorry, Josip. Your sexy voice was too much for the stream. Well, now that everyone's ears are cleansed, let's take a look. This is going to be really funny because I've spent the last 2 days getting one drop down in game, and it doesn't even work yet. But such is the nature of game programming. But I'm very proud of it, and we're going to have a look together. Because if accountability is not the point of these streams, then, well, entertainment and educational value certainly help. But, you know, it's cool to show you guys what we've been working on. Building. Building excitement, perhaps. Indeed, I think you're absolutely right. Loading the map. Here we go. Oh, we've got the icon. Whoa, the map is loaded. So what I have added since last time is this little box over here that you can't see because chat's over it. Okay, if I move it like this, and we do sort of that thing. It's really anticlimactic. This box right here that says default gameplay experience. That's the box that I have added recently, and gameplay experiences are very cool and very neat and very helpful. And essentially, one of the main ways that we're going to handle the different sort of I struggle to sort of figure out exactly. I know, right, dude? What a feature. But essentially, what this does is it allows us to think of this as think of a gameplay experience as a game mode, if you will, right? So let's say if capture points, or if the game mode is team deathmatch, then the gameplay experience handles adding like all of the logic to players that they need for that specific game mode. So in the case of a team deathmatch, the gameplay experience will add a team identifier. It will add like a point to the score when a player is killed. It will, stuff like this. So that's what the gameplay experience sort of does. And it's a very useful, very sort of nice way of doing it, because you can very easily swap these out. At the moment, I've only got one experience here. And as you can see, it's mostly just empty. It adds a single actor component, which is this test component, which sort of just runs this tick, but essentially we can do any sort of logic in here. So I'm just going to straighten those real quick, but yeah. So yeah, because it's not really just the drop down, it's all 28 sort of logistics files and boilerplate bits that go in the background that all take place, like there's the experience manager and the actual, so this definition right here, and you can see these aren't even really done because half the stuff is still disabled because I haven't made it yet. Actually, I think we have pawn data now, so I should be able to uncheck that now. And then if we forward declare that, okay. No, clearly I've forgotten where this is located because this is not working. But essentially, yeah, Pexo, you're 100% right. It's but essentially, like, one of the beautiful things about it as well is that we can have one map, and then on that map we can place capture points. But then we can have multiple gameplay experiences for that map. So, for example, one of the gameplay experiences actually makes use of those capture points, and we can have a capture points game mode on that map. But we can also have a TDM game mode on that map, or whatever else, like search and destroy. I don't know. I'm just naming game modes right now. These aren't ones we're planning or whatever, but it gives us a lot of flexibility, and it's super, super easy to tweak. So it's a really powerful feature, and it sort of underpins a lot of the larger systems like matchmaking and like server selection, like scoring, etc. Yeah, exactly. So that's sort of what I'm trying to do here. And so my next steps, while Josh is working on sort of just the gameplay, so he's been getting really stuck in with movement and with the weapon systems and stuff like that. And you can see if I pop up here and pull this over, like you can see with his like crouch and prone stuff, and he's been working on the ballistics and stuff like that. So this is all like stuff that Josh has been working on. In the meantime, I'm working on sort of the surrounding infrastructure. So, you know, from here will be, I'm kind of handling the logic of, okay, what happens when you load the game up? How do loading screens work? You know, session management, a server browser. How do players join sessions? Stuff like that. So that's all going to stem from these gameplay experiences, which will also have a user-facing experience. It just all gets basically. I did, yes. You can, what's a window that I can, you know, if I pull up this window, ooh, it's from my second monitor here, and I can have it over here on the other side. I had to buy a power cable for it, actually, because I didn't have one. And that's when I discovered a wonderful website. Because you know how you go on Amazon and you look up like a power cable and it's like £8. What the frick's the name of the store that I bought the power cables from? That's it. So I went on this store here. It's called Cannibal. It's a British store, and you can like go and just buy like I don't know. I needed an HDMI cable, right? It's like £1 for a 1.5 meter HDMI cable. Like, what? Like, yes, please. So I bought an HDMI cable, and I think yeah, they call them kettle cords here, but again, like £2 for like a nice 2 meter kettle cord is a pretty good price. So always buy industrial. This is something I have learned over my years on this planet. It's always cheaper. Well, not always. Always price compare, but it tends to be a lot cheaper to find people who sell. I mean, yes, but I work remote, so I don't go into an office and shit, so I cannot steal things from work as much as I would like to. But yeah, what I'm working on now in terms of Warbound is setting up a custom game mode, which is, as you can see, we have on experience loaded is experience loaded. The experiences are now being added and are loading with the maps, but we need to actually get them to be loaded then by the player. See, you have it incredibly well positioned to steal things from work. Sorry, borrow. But yes. Yeah, you're just borrowing it, of course. When will you give it back? If you remember. Yeah. For legal reasons, you're borrowing it. I understand. Okay, let's get implementing. So these are some I think you can, Paxo. I understand you completely. So I'm looking for get pawn data from controller. Which is this one. I would like to figure out why this is just not working. Yeah, it just gets red underlined and I'm very confused as to why. But let's implement it and we'll see where we go. So right now, essentially what me and Josh do most of our days is look at Lyra source code references and make Warbound versions of them. The reason we're taking a lot of code from Lyra, I've been over this on stream before, but for those of you who are new, maybe joining us for the first time, first of all, welcome to the stream. It's lovely to have you here. And second of all, why Lyra? Lyra's a really solid base. It's very similar on like a super core level to Warbound. Like it's a multiplayer shooter game. So it handles a lot of the same considerations and it uses a very modern architecture. Personally, Josh has more experience than I do in this regard, but personally, a lot of the stuff that I've built has been first person and single player. So the network side of things in particular for me, and like the scale side of things, obviously we're trying to build stuff here that will hold up in, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, maybe if things go really well, 10 years. Like ideally, as soon as we hit more than, 12 concurrent players, somebody doesn't have to go in and rewrite this whole thing. So we're taking a lot of cues from Lyra on how to do that and how to build systems robustly. So okay, I feel like in 100 years, the computing landscape might look a little different. Like, I hate to break it to you, but I don't think many games live for 100 years. And I think if we do achieve the cult level status of something like Tetris, that exists on, or Doom, that exists on basically every platform, I think there will be people around to rebuild the project onto new architectures and stuff like that. Because, like we're seeing it right now with ARM sort of coming in favor of x86. Who knows, like at the end of the lifespan of this game, maybe everybody will be running Qualcomm CPUs in their PCs instead of x86, Intel, AMD. So that's one of the benefits of not building our own engine. Whatever other game. But yeah, I'm hoping that Unreal will handle a lot of that for us, but this should be player state. And that should be 4 months is a bit of an exaggeration. I'll check here for you when we posted our first announcement in the announcements channel. That was the 8th of April was when we technically started working. But realistically, it's been about 3 months, I think, of actual work where, and on top of that, we've been taking some holidays because the summer is not the greatest time to start a project. But yeah, about 2-3 months. We're making good progress. We're sort of coming to the moment where things are starting to come together. I think once gameplay experiences come in from my side, and once Josh finishes some more of the basic gameplay stuff, in particular weapon shooting, which is like the big feature that we're still missing on that front, we'll be able to actually like sit down and play a round of Warbound, even though it'll be super, super, super basic. Yeah. Okay, I'm thinking, so we have our player state, but we're missing our pawn data. So I need to make a Warbound pawn data. Before we can really move on. So let's go into our character. And this is just going to be a quick little data asset. So we're going to call this Warbound pawn data. And that's going to be a primary data asset. Add those to Perforce. And these should start to resolve. Okay, let's do our header first. And I want you like that. Always start with the header. Good old header. All right, so what do we want? Public. Warbound pawn data. A constructor, of course. Object initializer. And now our primary classes. Blueprint read only, category Warbound pawn. Okay, and this is the class to instantiate for this pawn. Then we need ability sets. T array, T objects, object pointer of U Warbound ability set. Add forward declaration. It's going to be ability sets. A property, and this should be, I'm actually just going to nick that. Oh, I don't want that. I don't want that. I want that to be abilities. Gonna need whatever tag relationship mapping is. And we're gonna have another one of those. So I'm just gonna comment those out for now. An input config, that's fine. We have one of those already. I'm gonna forward declare again. I need to do some research, unless anybody's a programming genius in chat, because Epic seems to use a lot of forward declarations as opposed to includes. Mr. Flying Cow in the chat. No, I have not. Somehow I doubt the accuracy of our good friend ChatGPT. But if you'd like to give that a shot, competition is always good in a space. It pushes all the parties to get better. So I'm excited to see what you how far you get. I think if you manage to get that, I think a lot of people will be very happy. So another thing that I do not have just yet. Oh, that's where ChatGPT comes in, isn't it? Right. Well, the actual implementation is super simple, actually. So just gonna run super object initializer, and then gonna null out pawn class input config and default camera mode. And that way, when we go back to our game mode, we should hopefully have nice. Okay, that's finally not gotten it's finally not red, you know. So let's pop into our player state, because I think we're missing some things in the player state. So far, the only thing we have in our player state is the ability system component. But we're going to need to add a get pawn data function. So, okay, it's a template function. That's interesting. Template functions are a way of writing functions that are able to basically take or return different types of data, or different classes, no, different data types. So like an integer or a float or whatever. So we're going to need to add a pawn data variable in here. And I'm just going to toss that in the protected. I'm going to say const u warbound pawn data. Forward declare pawn data. It's going to be u property replicated using on rep underscore pawn data. And so now we need an on rep pawn data function. So let's just let's do an on rep pawn data and toss that in there, and that shouldn't really need an implementation. So now if I go back here, that should resolve, and now that should go away once we return something, which we can actually do right there. Nice. Okay. Why are you still yellow? Not all control paths return a value. Fair enough. So essentially what we're doing here, we are checking to see if we can get the controller's pawn data. So the game mode in Unreal is like one of the, essentially it's sort of like at the top of the hierarchy. It controls a lot of things. It contains a controller, it contains a character, it contains all of that stuff. So this is getting the pawn data for the controller that this game mode is controlling. And if we can't find one, we need to handle that. So I'm gonna say check game state Warbound experience manager. Okay, we're gonna need to make the experience manager component as well. We can also need to implement. Okay, no, actually find component by class is fine. And we're going to need an experience manager component, which will presumably live on the game state if we're checking the game state for it. And then we're going to check that as well. And remind me to put my semicolons, because those are very annoying if you forget. So, Warbound experience definition. Experience, I cannot type today. Experience component. Experience manager component. Get current experience checked. Ah, you think so? Here, we'll put it in the game mode. What should it be, like an int 32? Just like that, you reckon? You think we're good there, or should it be small b bugs? Or yeah, Unreal wants me to capitalize it because that's the convention. But I don't know. You seem to be you seem to be the expert. You let me know. We're going to check experience, both just to be sure. Like that, you reckon? Just let me know, because I want to be sure. Yeah. Okay. Whew, guys, we're good. All bugs have been squashed in Warbound, confirmed. Squashes all bugs. There we go. Okay, we're all good now. Oof, really dodged a bullet there. You know, I've heard H&G had a lot of bugs. Why didn't they just do this? Silly developers. Okay, you should have. Okay, I should be able to uncheck that now. So that should actually resolve. Yeah, I think if the HG developers had asked you for the advice, the game would still be here today. We're gonna return a null pointer if we don't find anything. Okay, well this function has given me another thing to create, 2 new classes. That's lovely. This is typically how I work when I am implementing stuff like this that I don't know the full depth of. You could make an argument for copy pasting this stuff over. It would certainly make things a lot faster right now. But as soon as we hit the point where we need to customize, writing all of this stuff out and actually knowing what the fuck we're writing makes it so much easier when the time comes to customize and to expand or to remove. You know, there's some stuff that we definitely don't need. And you'll notice that there are classes that are largely empty, even though Lyra has them incredibly full of stuff, because we just don't need it. I mean, we could do search and replace. Like, there's, you know, like we've imported some plugins from Lyra, such as modular gameplay actors. And if we need to rename stuff, I mean, you know, search and replace can rename Lyra to Warbound very easily. But this way we sort of, well, we sort of contain things, right? Like, we don't need every single class in Lyra in Warbound. We can sort of go in and pick and choose, and you know, we also end up actually knowing what the fuck we are writing. So let's make an experience manager component. That's going to be in game modes, I presume. So we're going to say experience manager component, Warbound experience manager component to stick with the scheme. And we're going to base it off of game state component. Exactly. And by rewriting the books, we sort of force ourselves to really learn them, to kind of expand on that metaphor. Obviously, it's, you know, occasionally we'll copy full files over because we're like, okay, 100% need this. It's super back-end stuff. But in general, we really try to, you know, go in and customize and make sure that we're just learning stuff as well. I mean, it's our first time building a game of this scale, so we're not perfect. We're no experts. Yep. The seagulls outside are going absolutely fucking nuts, and I don't know why. What the fuck?
You broken now?
What? No, the seagulls outside are going absolutely mental, and I've just realized that it's my audio problem. My audio is broken. Let me play a song and see if music is also broken. Yeah, there's something fucky with my audio. So sorry, Josip, it wasn't actually Josip's fault. Give me a second. Okay, say something.
Hello, hello.
Okay, no, it's still fucking broken. Give that a shot.
Hello, 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 hello.
Okay, I'm going to real quick unplug my audio interface and plug it back in. We're going to hope that fixes it. Okay. Can you hear me, everybody? All right. You should be able to hear me now. Could you say something, please?
Hello, 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 hello.
Ah, excellent. Okay, that's fixed it. I don't know what happened with my audio interface there, but turning it off and on again did fix it. Welcome, Josh. It's nice to have you back.
I'm just breaking stuff.
Fair enough. No, when I was saying what the fuck, it was all the seagulls are really excited for Warbound because they were just having an absolute Just time outside. Yeah, I do think that Yozip's microphone was still a problem, but it turns out my audio interface was as well, and it was really painful listening to Josh. So
It's just Yozip.
yeah, Yozip just has a very special audio setup. But anyway, back to work. Okay. Oh, Paxo really wants you to know that he's fixed any issues we may ever have with bugs. I don't know if you've been paying attention.
Does
to
he
the
now?
stream. Yeah, let me show. If you check the stream right now, I'll make it just a tad bigger for you as well. But if you check, he's fixed it entirely.
Oh damn!
I know, right? It's really quite something. He said Int32 was fine, so.
I need those changes now so I can fix all the bugs I've got right now.
Yeah,
I would much appreciate it.
I know. I'll yeah. You should check in with him later, just to make sure maybe he can solve all of your issues as well. Because I don't know about you, everything works for me now. Oh, what the fuck have I done? Sorry, that wasn't Paxo's fault. That was all mine. Okay, class, the Warbound experience definition. Okay, interesting. This does not use core minimal. That's a final. If there are any issues now, it's user error. Something tells me the issues were user error already, but oh great, there's an interface that Epic used that I don't have. Nice. There's another fucking plugin. God damn it. Okay, we need common loading screen. Fuck sakes. Okay, well, time to... I'm not going to leak my files. That's not a good idea. Yeah, there's nothing people can gather from that. That's also not what I wanted to do. Please just snap there. Thank you. Okay, I need to copy over another folder. This is the one that I have worked with today. Common loading screen. Okay, that should resolve very shortly now. Essentially, Lyra has a bunch of plugins in it that they use to abstract certain features, and we are going to use them because they're great. And that is one of the things that I'm very happy to just nick from Lyra. So you can see if we add common loading screen to the private dependency modules, I can now build the project, and weirdly this only updates once you build the project. Are you? Oh my god. Oh fuck. I ran a build while there was a fucking version of the game running. Go away. Live coding is this, me and Josh have ranted
Turn it off.
long hours about live coding.
Surprised you've not turned it off yet.
I should do, to be honest. Go away.
It gets rid of many issues, turning that thing up.
Yep. It's it's this epic feature that like lets you update code while the engine is running, but it like just doesn't fucking work. So it's not a super great idea just keeping it turned on. But just stop, please. Okay. If I just rebuild this, it's going to compile all of the common loading screen modules. Yeah, whatever. That's going to fail, that's fine. It's really just about rebuilding those modules that we just added. And the build can fail, but this should resolve now.
What are you doing? Are you doing a build or a rebuild?
That was just a build.
Do a rebuild instead next time. That's what the rebuild's for.
What do you mean?
It rebuilds all the modules.
No, but I don't want to rebuild the modules. I just want to build the new ones so that iLoading process interface resolves.
That's what I mean. I think rebuild is meant to be the one that you're meant to use instead of build for doing that.
I mean, build works just fine, so. Build has worked just fine for me.
Yeah.
But, because the build isn't going to succeed, but now that I've reloaded and rebuilt, okay, I need to add all of, just need to submit the directory. Is that what I want to do? I don't think that's what I want to do. Perforce, add to VCS. Can you not be red now? Game modes. Okay, you know what? Back we go. Let's add a delegate. Declare multicast delegate 1param. I've always found that quite funny. Okay, load states. Unloaded. If I can spell. Unloaded. Loading. Loading game features. Loading chaos. Testing delay. Executing actions. Loaded. Deactivating. So as far as I understand this, if I do understand it correctly, this will integrate with loading screens via common, what have I just added? Common loading screen. I don't want any of this meta shit here. And let's F object initializer as usual. I need to figure out why they pass in the object initializer. Nice. all of this is public. I'm just going to knock all of those out, and we're going to do end play, and should show loading screen, set current. Again, these are the custom functions. Okay, void set current experience. Void call or register on experience loaded high priority. F on Warbound experience loaded. F delegates. Reference delegate. What a delegate is, for anyone who's curious, is it's essentially a way to broadcast information. So other classes, other files, excuse me, other classes, other files are able to listen for these delegates. So we can say, for example, here you see on Warbound experience loaded. So when we load a Warbound experience, other classes can listen in and say, oh, an experience has been loaded. Let's do something with that experience. Like, I don't know, load the actor components that get added, or react somehow to the new information that they've received. So that was supposed to be an underscore, like that, and we want one more. Okay, high, regular, and low priority, and I've misspelled experience. So here are some of those functions that we were looking at using over here, I think. Yeah, get current experience checked, is experience loaded. Those are all defined here. We can now add the forward declaration for that. And I need to fix the typo here. That's now done. Now if we include the definition there, all of that's come through now. I'm gonna still go back here and implement it, but it's nice to see that those have come through. Let's just do, again, sometimes I don't entirely understand Epic's notation. But I do try to use it. I've got a question for those of you in chat, by the way, because I've been considering sort of running some, you know, lo-fi music or just some chill music in the background that we can potentially just sort of listen to on stream. Is that something that you would want embedded in the stream itself, or is that something that you'd prefer to go off on your own? Because obviously you can open up a second tab with a YouTube video and just listen to music that way and have a lot more control. But let me know, is that something you'd like integrated into the stream, whatever music I'm listening to work, or is that something you'd prefer to have agency to decide on your own? Background music sounds cool. Okay, we'll give it a shot. I've got a license to Epidemic Sound. So I've got a license to these guys. So I'll put some music together for next stream. And we'll give it a shot. And you guys can let me know what you think. I might prepare 1 or 2 playlists and just, we'll see how the vibes are. Gotcha. Okay, next stream. We're slowly improving the stream. I don't know if you've noticed, I've added more things like the you know, the other scenes, like this beautiful scene, and of course the waiting scene and stuff like that. So I'm slowly improving. I do need to slow down that like, I don't know, what would you call it, the on this screen, the sort of shimmer, I suppose, the glow, whatever. Yeah, I feel like that needs to be slowed just a little bit down, but we'll get there. We'll get there.
Speedy boy.
Sorry?
It's a speedy boy.
It's very shiny, yes. But a lot of the time the focus is on the actual game content rather than the sort of stuff surrounding it. It's why it took us so fucking long to get a logo for the Discord server. It was just like, we'll make the game. That's the priority.
And then I just got bored one day.
Yeah, that's pretty much how that sort of surrounding stuff happens. Somebody gets bored and is like, yeah, I need something small for motivation. So, yeah. Slowly but surely turning into a professional stream. Absolutely. We'll get there. I've figured out how to get chat up. I've never streamed before, so it's been an interesting experience.
That's pro.
Okay. A few more functions. We need them now private. And then the actual variables that hold all the data. And then we'll be pretty solid for an experience manager component. I have just realized I'm essentially doing a depth first search here, which is the most fucking CS kid thing to call it, but it's true though. It is true. Yep, that is, but that's how it's gotta be, you know. You gotta have like 2/3 of your time spent on documentation, because this code will probably outlive me. If I leave the company tomorrow, Josh needs to be able to take this over, or a new programmer needs to be able to take this over. So, you know, I recently moved onto a new job, and they had a slightly messy sort of previous few developers, and to be honest, I don't blame them at all, because I'm there now and this is very much sort of the culture. But it's like, okay, let's get this done as quickly as possible, and that tends to mean that there's no time. Yeah, that tends to mean that there's no time for documentation of any sort. And so people tend to pick the approach that is the quickest, even if it's not good for the actual longevity of the code base. So coming in, it's like, okay, can you swap these files out? It's like, okay, I have no idea how. So yeah, it's very, very common. I mean, to be honest, like, we have our internal documentation and I haven't touched that in like a month now. So I do need to, you know, get back to that and actually properly document some of our infrastructure a little bit better, because, well, there's stuff there, but it's not super amazing. I mean, it's, you know, it's a little bit more forgivable with a company as small as we are. Just because, you know, everyone's always talking. I'm, you know, if you keep an eye on the Discord server, me and Josh spend, on days when we do chat, we spend like just 6 or 7 hours continuously in a voice chat. Hey Dit, how you doing? Welcome to the stream.
I'm not pushed these changes before I break anything else.
Oh yeah, code is not the only thing that that requires documentation, that's for sure. All right, let's set up our stuff. Okay, that's the current experience. That's a big one right there. That's our current experience. Nice. I have to ask, Mercurial, do you have a friend called Git? That's such a terrible CS. Not even a joke. That's just horrible, but fair enough.
It's the math magician Dit.
Ah, I see. Math with chicken. I had chicken earlier. It was tasty. Okay, so by default, our load state is unloaded. That makes sense. Mathematician. There you go. You got it. Mathematician. Yeah. I mean, he helped us a bunch with, I hope he is the right pronoun. He helped us a bunch with our ballistic system, as Josh can attest to.
Oh.
Yes, Mercurial is version control software. That's why I asked about. That's why I said the Git joke, because Git is also version control software. Funnily, we use neither for Warbound. Both of these should have 0 as default. And I've misspelled observed. That's a ban. Yoink. No, we do not use Google Drive. Yeah, cheeky spam bot, cheeky ban. Now we use Perforce. Let's see if I can pull that up. Perforce. Yoink. We use Helix. Wow, it's version control. That's horrible. That made a sound and scared me. It's, as you can see, we're not exactly alone in being a game dev company using Perforce. I'm actually curious what they Crytek IOI NR Frontier EA Avalanche. Yeah, we're not exactly alone. I'm actually going to move that over here just in case. So it's a weird scale. I will agree. I think because 19 of 20 use it, and then like the next, I don't know, maybe the next 5 down just despise Perforce. And 19 of 25 doesn't look nearly as good. I don't know. Experience loaded high priority. Okay, that was an April Fool's joke in Hellborn, and so many fucking people thought it was real. It was really funny. Because it was like not like that believable, and then so many people were like, "Oh my god, you guys got bought by EA," and then the game got shut down like 2 weeks later. What the fuck? Actually, it was like a week later.
It kind of played into the joke. I'm not gonna lie.
I know it was really funny, but it was also like, why do so many people believe this? What the hell? Like, obviously don't believe everything you read on the internet. Especially on April Fool's Day, I would have thought this was clear. But anyway, I digress.
I've submitted those changes if you want the most bodgiest version of teabagging ever existent.
Are we testing teabagging live on stream? Is that
Sure.
happening?
Yeah. I mean, the animation is the most jankiest things in ever existence. There's so much snapping. But, you know, the spirit's there. Quality, on the other hand, not so much, but the spirit's there.
Okay. I need to make sure that the stuff compiles, so I need to write a bunch of fucking functions. But once I write those, we are going to test some teabagging. I still don't understand this pattern. But it's nice to be working with stuff that I generally like understand now. Again. Okay, what are we starting with? Set current experience. Okay. Warbound asset. Fuck's sakes. I don't have an asset manager created. another thing I'm gonna have to create. Yeah, inheritance is perhaps not my favorite design pattern, but it is what it is. Unreal doesn't help because it's I mean, Unreal isn't even really C++. Most people just call it UE++, just because it's you basically never stray outside of the Unreal API.
Unreal Engine C++ is like 10 times easier than standard C++.
Yes and no.
Depends on the area, I suppose, but Unreal handles a load of the temperamental stuff like memory management and stuff for you, so you don't really have to worry too much about that to some extent.
I agree with you. I like C++. I'm a C person myself. I write a lot of C and I really enjoy it, but Unreal's C++ like layer on top of C++, UE++ essentially is it can get really ugly sometimes.
I was still surprised that they just didn't end up going with C#, if they're going to do an overlay thing.
Yeah, I mean, I do like the turtles all the way down mentality. Like the sense that everything is built with C++ is nice because, you know, you can integrate with the entire engine stack at any point with the same language in the same code base. But
though obviously they're doing that goddamn verse now, aren't they, for Fortnite?
They are doing verse, so they're definitely... There's these fucking flies in my room. Fuck. But yeah.
I've got a feeling their verse is probably going to be somewhat like Game Maker language.
It's not actually. It's a really weird language.
Is it not? That's what I was expecting it to be. It was like Game Maker language.
It's a functional programming language.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's full on functional. Which, while I understand the pattern, Haskell is gorgeous. It's a weird choice for a game engine.
More for Fortnite though. I think that's what they're more doing it for.
Even there, like it's just not really a game. Like, I don't know.
The only thing I could possibly think is if there's actually more purpose for editor stuff.
Yeah.
But it depends what stuff is exposed to it or not.
Yeah, it's weird. My multitasking is really being put to the test here because some of my friends are having a discussion about potentially replacing the US Democratic candidate. I will not weigh in my political beliefs here because that's not what the stream is about, but it's something that I'm at least interested in reading. But on top of that, I'm trying to read chat and write code. It's a really good combination. I am going to, as much as I would love to talk about it, I'm gonna like say let's leave the politics out of this. I'd like to keep the two things separate. So if he does step down, I agree. It'll be very interesting either way. that whole situation. We had the British elections here not long ago, and those were very funny. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. It'll be interesting to watch. But, okay, we need an asset manager. And this is another fucking huge class. Fuck. God damn it. Okay, is this part of... What is this part of? That's pretty fun, Vexa. That's basically my favorite use case of programming, is just automating all the dumb little shit. Okay, this is going to be one of the times where I'm just going to nick something directly from Lyra. So, let's see, I need a directory. It's going to be called system. Oh, we already have a system directory, fair enough. I see that, Josh, you've moved something over already as well.
I did. Because I needed that stuff for the fractures. Not fractures, fragments.
Yeah. Okay, I'm very sorry. My mom is calling me. And I'm like, I would love to pick up, but we've got the stream to run. Everybody needs attention now. Unfortunate timing. Let's get this asset manager stuff copied over. And to copy. Copy. Edit. Paste. Nice. Okay. Going to cheekily replace that with Warbound. Haha, guys, I wrote it now. It's mine. And now I'm gonna demonstrate exactly what we talked about earlier, of just find and replace. And boom, easy. Easy dubs. This keeps adding shit on, my god. This like dependency shit for fucking Lyra is just so painful. Asset manager startup job. Okay, I guess we'll copy the asset manager startup job over as well. This copyright, we have our own copyright header that shows up if I go to one of ours. You'll see copyright Warbound and all of our legal stuff. This is just, it's something Epic configures by default. So, anyway. Mine now. God bless programming, huh? In what other industry can I do this and say that I'm working? Truly the beauty of computer science. Exactly. Okay, that resolves now. Okay, we need whatever a gameplay queue manager is now. Where are you? Ability system. Okay, these are more huge files. Yeah, basically. See, I've gotten to the point where like there's some stuff that's interesting to rewrite and show on stream. There's other stuff that's less interesting to rewrite and show on stream. So, but I think I'm just going to toss that, and I'm just gonna go back down here, and I'm gonna comment that out and add a to-do, re-enable this and figure out what it does. Yeah, sort of. So I'm satisfied with that in terms of dependency hell. So we now have an asset manager. So we do have, I think we can toss the forward declare here and just have that. And now why is check asset class? Warbound experience definition is incomplete. I think if we include that. Okay. Set current experience should work now. I'm still not quite sure. Okay, so the reason we needed an asset manager there is just so that it can run this function, which just gets the asset pointer, so it gets the name of the asset and then gets the soft object path of that asset and returns it. Okay, fair enough. I understand that. That makes sense. Let us continue on with the implementation. We've got a half hour. I would like to wrap this up hopefully by tonight, so that we can test the well, test Josh's what was it? Teabagging? Fuck's sake.
Yes.
Well, tactical crouching. I like that. Okay, so we've got you, and so this is if is experience loaded delegate dot execute current experience. That makes sense. Otherwise, we're going to on experience loaded high priority dot add. No, not call a register. I just want on experience. On Warbound experience loaded high priority. Yes. Dot add move temp delegates. Okay, wait. I need to manually allow your message pack so because it has the word teabagging in it. How do I will allow this. You are allowed to say teabagging in the chat. The auto mod got it for sexual content. So. Alright. Let's do. This is basically the same thing. So I'm just going to use a programmer's best friend, except this will be on Warbound experience loaded. And then we're going to do a final one for the low priority, which is again gonna be the same thing. Yank that shit. And low priority. Ah, it's Captain Knight. Welcome, Captain Knight. How you doing tonight? You are the captain of the night, after all. Alright. Get current experience checked. That's next. Why are you fussy? Do you need an oh, because it's of course, because it needs to return something. Alright. Let's check the load states. Is a Warbound loaded? If we're loaded, we're going to check that current experience does not equal null pointer. Wow, amazing. And I should add a semicolon to the end of both of those. And then we're gonna return current experience. That was fairly straightforward. Alright, let's do is experience loaded next. And that is just going to, okay, we're going to do a one-liner, and we're going to check that load state is Warbound loaded, and current experience does not equal null pointer. That makes sense. It's basically just these two lines right here. Fair enough. Okay, void. Why am I doing this here? I can just do that and it generates it for me. Oh gosh. That I don't imagine that's a particularly fun experience, my friend. I hope despite that you've had a lovely weekend.
Ah, good old dogs. Gotta love them.
I have never had a pet, actually.
They're fun, but also annoying to have.
I entirely
But
believe
you won't
that.
replace them.
Yes. Yeah, we've had a lot of cool progress on the animation front. It's been really fun to watch the captain in chat and Josh, of course, work on all of that. So I'm very excited for everyone to see that when we're ready to show it. But it will be some time still, I think. Unloaded. Hose and shampoo. Load state equals Warbound load ding. Right, let's do the log properly. Cheeky log Warbound experience log text experience start experience load alright, and then from there get current experience, get primary asset ID to string, and we'll have one more and we'll say get client server context string on this. Okay, so now we're in the loading phase and we can say Warbound asset manager get a reference to our asset manager. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's been pretty warm here. I'm piggybacking off the conversation going on in chat. But yeah, it's not quite the European heat wave here in the UK, but it's been pleasant. Let's make some sets. T set, F primary asset ID, bundle asset list. Yeah, I've been back since almost a week now. I got back on Monday. I can't work on the game if I'm not back in the UK because I need my PC. So you're gonna have to elaborate on which shit show. Is this something to do with regard to the election, or is it just like a weather thing? Soft object path. Oh, yes. Yes. My mom and my sister were flying that day and very worriedly sent me screenshots in the morning like, are we going to be fucked? Fortunately, their flight flew. They had an evening flight. But, yeah. You say I avoided the shit show. My first flight did get cancelled, so definitely not entirely. Yes, I'm using Vim bindings. I cannot use a text editor without Vim bindings now. It's really funny. I wouldn't consider myself like a super Vim guru, but experience action set. Action set. Okay, have we got action sets now? Yeah, I feel you. I tend to C++ for Unreal is actually the only programming language that I use Visual IDE for. Everything else I write on Mac OS on my laptop in just NeoVim, which I've got set up with a bunch of plugins and shit. But unfortunately, the C++ language server is really, really brutally important for Unreal, just because, like we talked about earlier, it's basically its own library. So that autocomplete is really, really important and really difficult to get working outside of officially supported IDEs. I have tried to get it running in just regular old Vim, but to no success, I'm afraid. This upset at me because it needs like that, yeah. But I think it was about 2 summers ago when I sat down and made myself learn proper like touch typing, like, you know, full on home row, and yeah. So, and from there I learned Vim, because funnily enough I learned Vim because of Haskell, because they wanted us to write Haskell for a course at uni. And well, I don't know if you've ever written Haskell, but like there's 0 good language servers for Haskell. Like they just don't work in most IDEs. Except there was one for NeoVim, And I was like, this seems as good as an excuse as any. And so I just started learning the Vim, and it replaced all IDEs for me. Except for Rider, of course. Yeah, it's a funky language. It's fun, but it's really tricky to wrap your head around. Yeah, functional is interesting. It's we had a course called Computer Languages and Representations at uni, and that was basically where they taught us Haskell and Prolog, functional and logical programming languages. Both very interesting. I think I preferred Haskell. I don't think we did any regex. I mean, like, I've done regex, but I don't think it was just part of that course. It's a miracle that any of the code I've written today works, because I just cannot type. Josh, you've set up bundles for me. I'm eternally grateful.
You're welcome.
You've set up whatever an F Warbound bundle is.
Don't even know when I set that up, but you know, it's there.
It seems to... Oh no, did I set this up?
I think you set that up because I don't recall bundles.
No, I definitely set it up because it's green for me. It's a new file. Okay, never mind.
I was thinking bundles. I was like, okay, I guess. I mean, I don't remember, but sure.
I mean, I just assumed it was something you set up as part of the inventory system, but it's apparently not. I guess this is a good lesson on why you should always read your code.
Just the crash and pro is actually more functional now. I won't say finished, but more functional.
I think you're going to have to just show that off via Discord stream, because I think the chance of me finishing this...
I'll do a quick video around. It won't exactly take me long, and honestly, it's so bodged. But it's kind of funny how bodged it looks.
That's what we're here for. We live for the bodge.
Just definitely real quick, and I'll get a clip.
Oh God. Fuck. Okay, we gotta copy another API over. Okay. Plugins. What plugin am I... Is it game settings? No, it's the game features API. That's a pretty funny thing to name a fucking plugin. Game features. This is a fucking big plugin, by the way. Holy shit. It's like 400 megabytes. and for some reason it's getting copied at 1.4 meg. Like, what the fuck is this speed? What the fuck is this? This is on an SSD. What the fuck? Okay, we gotta reload things and then we'll have whatever an actions. Is it action sets? No, it's what am I looking for? I'm looking for game feature subsystem settings. Do let me know when you finish your incredible video and we'll give it a watch.
Sure. Just trimming it at the moment.
See, Paxa, these plugins are the ones that I give myself the liberty of not having to document. Because I'll just be like, oh, it's okay, it's a plugin. I don't need to interact with it directly. Okay, so game features is here now. Oh my god, no wonder game features has everything in it. This includes all of the fucking maps. What the fuck? Okay, I don't know if copying that over was actually the greatest of things. Shut up. I'm going to delete that actually. I'm just going to toss game features out because that's let's see. Yeah, it's about 400 megabytes. That's the correct guess on my part there. I'm going to just to do what? That's such a helpful to do message. Oh my goodness. Let's be more helpful. Figure out what new game features subsystem settings does. And then I'm just going to put a commented out. And then we're going to say if bload server, just going to toss that there, and then that's going to be load state server. That's actually supposed to be like that. Yeah, the to-dos will remind me to go back to that because I'm frankly not entirely sure what that does, and for the sake of content, I'm not going to look into it now. But there's a lot of like really low level stuff here. Wow, here's the asset manager that I coded. How funny. I was not expecting that to be useful here, but...
I've made a post in the work in progress for it.
Made a post. Incredible. Core game feature, teabagging. That's beautiful. I'm at loss for words. I'm at loss for words. I don't know what to say. That's incredible. I think you've done it, Josh. I think we're ready for pre-alpha. Okay, guys, I'm very pleased to announce, based on this test footage, we will be opening up donations later this week. If you'd like to see teabag simulation... This is incredible. I have nothing. I have no critiques, no comments. This is perfect. You said you need to fix this. I don't see what needs fixing.
Beautiful.
Yeah, yes, all 2 hours of it. In the next 2 hours, you'll be able to give us all your money so that we can make this a reality. Although, frankly, I don't think we need any money because this is what Josh has achieved here is perfection. I think
the ironic thing, that video is about 8 hours work.
I love programming. That's no comments. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. I'm very proud of you, Josh. I just want you to know that. It's incredible. I think I need to make like a little gif of that and like put it somewhere on the stream. I think like if you like, you know, follow the stream or
the
something.
new follower thing. Yeah.
Yeah, just like somebody follows the stream or something. I think that needs to play. I think there's no other way forward. Oh, goodness.
Thing with that, if I wasn't doing it properly, I can easily get something like teabagging done in like an hour. But to do it properly, with all the other stuff I have to code.
This is the thing that's like hard to like get people to understand is like if we really wanted to, we could have made a first person shooter in 2 days. Like I've built a plugin for it. I know how it works. Josh knows vaguely how it works. And together I think we could have easily built something in about a week and just have something that works and you can run around and shoot and guns are already implemented and everything. And fuck, it'll have an attachment system and whatever. That's not hard. The hard thing is doing it properly. And unfortunately, that's what we're trying to do. No, it's like genuinely. I mean, if you want to try and see what that would feel like, shameless self-promotion. Go on itch.io and go download Project Isolation, which is essentially, I mean, fuck it, we can probably just download it here. I do not consent to Facebook cookies. Right, I'll run this for you because this is the project that I was working on before I left to work on FPS Core, and then left FPS Core to work on Warbound. But yeah, you're 100% right. You gotta just, because product people never know how long shit takes. I think we'll end today's stream by giving Project Isolation a whirl. because it should be interesting. This is Ellie lore, basically. This is what this is. Okay, Windows protected your PC. I wrote the fucking app. Let me run it. Alright. We're gaming. So this is something that I built over the course of a few months. So it's like full movement, so you can vault. It's a full interaction system. You can, open, close, whatever. I'm gonna turn the sound down. There's like sliding. You can jump and go into a slide, and like the movement's pretty diverse. There's like a money system. This was like a public map that I showed off that you could, and as you can tell, still can download. So as you can tell, this gun is really inaccurate. I think there's a debug setting somewhere. Yeah, so it could draw weapon debug information, right? So this is a very inaccurate weapon because it doesn't have a stock. But there was like, you can go here and you can shoot these guys, and that's how you make money. And as you can see, we can now afford to buy 2 more guns, and you can see these ones have stocks and shit, so they're slightly more accurate. But this is like we could have had something like this very quickly. The problem is this would not scale. So this is what FPS Core was based on. And funnily enough, this directly led to me working on this project, because FPS Core, which was the result of this project, was what led to the other project's founder, to not mention names, reaching out over email to see if I wanted to help out with that previous project. And I said yes at the time. And obviously, that led to where we are today. Did you ask, is FPS Core a series of plugins? FPS Core it's just one plugin. But if I bring this over and we search FPS Core, you'll see this is FPS Core. It's like an Unreal Engine plugin. That weapon was in the previous game. But yeah, all of these are like just stuff that added to FPS Core. It's fully open source, so as you can see, I'm no longer maintaining it. But yeah, it like abstracts a lot of the stuff away from, it just makes it easier to do like common FPS things. So it handles like weapons, it handles movement, it handles like interaction. Those are some of like the main features. But yeah, that's sort of what led me here. So cheeky little lore lesson at the end of the stream here. I'm going to end the stream on a high note, which is this beautiful, beautiful video. But on that note, it's hit 10 p.m. here, so I'm going to go wind down.
You've not even played it with audio yet, have you?
I have played it with audio.
Oh, you have done? Okay.
I have played it with audio. Because For context, Josh is just whistling like a madman throughout the whole thing. I have desktop audio turned off for the stream, which is why I turned it off. But if you'd like to go see the full video, it's up in the work in progress chats. But thank you everybody for tuning into the stream. It's been great talking to you again. I'll see you all again on Tuesday. By when I'll hopefully have the gameplay experience system done, or at least like working,